Hello students, here we are going to see time domain analysis of first order RLRC circuits. So earlier we have discussed the introduction to RLRC circuits time domain analysis. So now let us go further. So when a circuit switches from one state to another state, the circuit will undergo a period called transition. Okay, so that is called transition, and the period is called transient period. Okay, so the on state to off state or off state to on state turning on of a circuit by a voltage source or a current source is called transient period. Okay, so what is a transient actually? So we are what is a transient? So here we have a circuit. This box contains so many resistors, inductors, capacitors. Okay, so this circuit contains so many inductors, capacitors, resistors. So here you can see a voltage source is connected for a long time in the circuit. It means, why I am mentioning this long time means, generally when the circuit is switched on to a supply, okay, so there is a period that we have just discussed, that is transient period. Okay, so after these transients die out, there is a period that is called steady state period. Okay, so here the response just after switching is transient period, and after some time, okay, so the state of the circuit is steady state. Okay, so we are going to see transients now. Okay, so whenever you are going to turn on a circuit, you will face transients first. So after a few seconds, okay, you are going to see steady state. Okay, when the time is sufficiently, when the circuit is sufficiently on for some time, the circuit will be go into steady state. So there will be no change in the output. Okay, so here we are going to face transients first when a circuit is turned on, then we are going to see the steady state, which will be stayed for a long time. Okay, so let us see transients here. So here let us assume voltage source is connected for long time. That means after connecting a source for a long time means t tends to infinite. This is what we refer. Steady state means when the circuit is connected to a source for a very long time, that is t is infinite. Okay, so transients means t is equal to 0 or 0 minus or 0 plus. Okay, steady state is t tends to infinite. Okay, so when the circuit is connected to the supply, just after switching, that is 0 minus or 0 plus instance, the behavior of the circuit is called transient period. So after connecting the circuit for a very long time, that is t tends to infinite, okay, that is the state of circuit is called steady state. Okay, so here a voltage source is connected for a long time, that means the circuit has attained steady state condition. Okay, so we can find the current here, that is for a current can be voltage by resistor or voltage by impedance. Okay, now let us see here these circuits have a switch here. Switch S is introduced here. This is switch S. Okay, now this is circuit having so many our elements, electrical elements, right, RLC components. So I am going to turn on this switch here. So if you close this switch only, then the supply will be turned on to our circuit. Okay, so what happens here is, before there are no voltage and currents to the circuit. Just after switching, there is a voltage and current flowing through the circuit. Okay, just after switching, what happening? There is a voltage and current through the elements. Now here observe the second circuit. Here we have already connected the circuit to the source. Now what happens is, I am going to open this switch. So earlier, before opening the switch, we have V1 and I1 across the circuit. So just after opening the switch, you are going to see different values of voltage, that is V2 and I2. So before opening, the values of voltage and current are V1 and I1, and just after opening the switch, the voltage will be V2 and I2. So we are going to see what is the change in this voltage and current for. So this change will happen for very small term, that is delta t, generally called as dt also. The dt is very small term, that is t2 minus t1, very small time in microseconds. Okay, so we are going to see the variation in the voltage and current parameters for very little transient period, that is very little time. Okay, just before opening the switch here and just after opening the switch here, what are the voltage and currents we are going to see. So this is called transient analysis. Okay, now let us see the behavior of basic components. So we have three components, that is R, L, C. Okay, so let us see the behavior of these basic components for transients. Okay, so we have R and L, C, right? Now let us see the behavior of R here. So here we have a voltage source and a resistor is connected. Okay, so here we have a voltage source and a resistor and a switch S. Here S is switch. So V is voltage source, right, and S is switch here, and R is resistor. Okay, Okay, now let us see what is happening here. So just before S is closed here, see here, just before S is closed, what is the state of that current? So we are going to see the current in this loop. Okay, so just before closing the switch, there is no current flowing through the circuit because there is no voltage applied to the resistor. So here current at 0 minus is 0, there is no current, and at t is equal to 0 I have to switch S is closed. Okay, S is closed here. Now we are going to see a current flow in the circuit, that is just after switching, because I equal to 0, so we are going to get a current as V by R. Now just after S is closed, at t is equal to 0 plus, what is happening? 0 plus. Now switch has been closed at t is equal to 0. Just after switching, what is happening? The current will be voltage by resistor. That means, so at I is equal to 0 minus, there is no current in the circuit, but at I is equal to 0 plus, there is a current, that is V by R. That means here this is, let us assume this as 0 seconds. Okay, so at 0 plus means just after closing switch, let us assume it as 1 microsecond. Okay, so this is t is equal to 0 minus condition, this is t is equal to 0 plus condition. So what is the difference here? Delta t is nothing but t of 0 plus minus t of 0 minus. Okay, so what is the difference? 1 microsecond minus 0 second, that is 1 microsecond. So you are going to see the difference in the current in the circuit at 1 microsecond. So just in a period of 1 microsecond, you are going to see a change in current. Initially it was at 0, so after 1 microsecond the current is V by R. Okay, so just for a 1 microsecond period, the current has been increased from 0 to V by R. Okay, so this is what we are going to see, what is happening in the circuit just after switching, what is the behavior of current and voltage for resistor, inductor and capacitor. Okay, so now similarly let us take our inductor. So what is the behavior of inductor for this switching transition? Okay, so here we have a circuit, voltage source is connected to a inductor through a switch S. Okay, so here we are going to see the transient response behavior of the inductor. So just before switching at t is equal to 0 plus, we are going to see the current through the inductor, that is IL. Okay, IL. Okay, current through the inductor. So just before switching there is no current, generally IL minus IL of 0 minus equal to 0. Okay, so what is happening just after switching? So what is the voltage across inductor? That is V is equal to L into di by dt. Okay, so here you can see here we are dt is nothing but delta t. Okay, so that is change in time t2 minus t1. So what is the delta t here? It is almost equal to 0. Okay, 1 microsecond means 0.000001. It is almost equal to 0. So delta t is almost equal to 0, that is dt is almost equal to 0. So if you supply this, V equal to L into di by dt is almost 0. So what is the value of V here? Voltage across inductor. This 1 by 0 is nothing but infinite. Okay, so the voltage across inductor, if it allows sudden change in current for a fraction of time, the voltage should be infinite. Will it practically be possible? So a infinite voltage across inductor for a short period of time. So is it possible? It is practically impossible. Practically not possible. That means if you allow a current to flow to change suddenly from within a very fraction of time in inductor, the voltage across inductor will be very high. That is almost infinite. It is not possible practically. That's why our inductor will not allow sudden changes in current for a very little fraction of time period. Okay, that means this inductor here doesn't allow sudden changes in current. So earlier it was 0. When the switch is closed here, okay, the circuit will try to flow some current. That current will be opposed by inductor because it has to generate infinite voltage across it to get here. This is the voltage VL we are measuring. So if it allows any current for a very short period of time, the voltage should be infinite. So that is practically impossible. That's why inductor doesn't allow sudden changes in current. Inductor doesn't allow sudden changes in current. So this is very important statement. I have already discussed this. Okay, so that's why even after closing the switch, the current will be 0. Okay, so just after the closing switch also IL 0 plus is 0. That means what I mean to say is IL 0 minus inductor current before switching will be equal to IL 0 plus just after switching. When you turn on the circuit, there is no current flow in the inductor because the property of inductor is it doesn't allow sudden changes in current. Okay, so this is one important thing. Okay, IL of 0 minus should be equal to IL of 0 plus to avoid infinite voltage. Okay, this is the condition. This is the behavior of inductor for switching on condition. Now let us see. Let us assume inductor is connected for a long time in the circuit. So this transient will be die out. Okay, and there is a constant current flowing through the inductor. Now we are going to disconnect the circuit and we are going to see what is the behavior of the inductor. Okay, so let us see the behavior of the inductor. So here this is a switch. Okay, switch S. So let me connect this switch here. So let us assume inductor is connected to the voltage source for a long time. Okay, V is connected for a long time, and we know that inductor opposes sudden changes in current. Okay, now let us see what is happening here. Because it is connected for a long time, that is steady state has been achieved here. So there is a current flow through the inductor. This is some current flow through the inductor. Let us say I naught. Now after a t is equal to 0, voltage source is connected to inductor. So I am going to remove that voltage source. So just after t is equal to 0, voltage source will be disconnected. Okay, voltage source will be disconnected from the circuit. Okay, now for that I am going to disconnect the switch from this position to this position. Okay, so I am going to connect the switch to this position. Now the voltage source has been disconnected from the circuit. Now what is happening here? The inherent property of inductor is inductor doesn't allow sudden change in current. Okay, so because there is no voltage source connected to the inductor, the current has to die out. That is, current has to be 0. But because the inherent property of inductor is it doesn't allow sudden changes in current, so just removing voltage source doesn't cause current to become 0. That means there is still some current I naught is flowing through the circuit even after disconnecting the voltage source. That is, even after removing the voltage source, current is still flowing through the inductor. That means I0 at t is equal to 0 minus is nothing but I0 at t is equal to 0 plus. Okay, so this is the property of inductor. Even you disconnected the voltage source, there is still current through the inductor. Okay, so that is the idea. This is the behavior of inductor during transient condition. Okay, now let us see the behavior of capacitor for transient condition. And earlier we had no current through the inductor even turning on the voltage source. Now there is still current even if we remove the voltage source. So let us conclude this. Okay, so for earlier case, that means current, that is current through inductor before switching and after switching, 0 minus and 0 plus equal to 0 in the earlier case. That means even you turn on the voltage source, there is no current. That means the inductor is acting as an open circuit for the previous condition. Okay, now what is happening? So here we have a voltage source connected for a long time to the inductor. So let us conclude here. So for an inductor, what is the behavior of inductor? Inductor doesn't allow sudden changes in current. Okay, that means, so even if a voltage source is applied at IL 0 minus and IL 0 plus equal to 0, the current is 0 even after turning on the voltage source. That means current is still acting as a open circuit here. So after transient diode, that means at t is equal to infinite. So after some time connecting the voltage source. Okay, so voltage source is connected for some long time, that is t tends to infinity generally taken. That means steady state is attained. So these transients will die out now. Transients will die out. So there will be no transients now. That means the current through the inductor will be having some value, and what is the voltage across inductor? V is equal to L into di by dt. So this di by dt at transient period, at steady state, this value will become 0. So V equal to 0. So at steady state, what is the voltage across inductor here? 0 volts. That means at steady state, inductor acts as, what is voltage equal to 0 means? That is short circuit. Okay. So while transient period, it was acting as open circuit. OC is open circuit. So at steady state, it is acting as a short circuit. Okay. Under transient condition, inductor is acting as open circuit. That means even you turn on a voltage source onto inductor, it is not flowing any current through it. So that is called open circuit condition. So after some period, at t is equal to infinite, steady state will be attained. Transients will die out. That is di by dt will become 0. So at this condition, voltage across inductor will become 0. Okay. So inductor voltage across inductor is 0 means the inductor will be acting as a short circuit at steady state condition. Okay. So the points to be remembered is, so during transient period, inductor L is acting as open circuit. So during steady state, inductor is acting as a short circuit. Okay, these are the two things to be remembered. Okay, so let us proceed for capacitor now. So here we have a capacitor connected to a voltage source here. Now we are going to see the voltage across capacitor for different conditions. So here we have a switch. So just before switching on, the voltage across inductor VC, okay, voltage across capacitor VC is 0 because it is not connected to the source. Now I am going to turn on the switch here. So what is happening is it turning on, that is it just 0. At t is equal to 0, just turning on the switch now. Okay, so what is the voltage here? So voltage is still 0. Why? Because here what is the current through inductor? I current through capacitor. Current through a capacitor. It is already been given the capacitor concept. So go through it. Current through a capacitor I equal to C into dV by dt. Okay. So this is the current through a capacitor. Okay. So let me write it clearly. Current through a capacitor. Okay, that is IC. Let us take it as IC. Okay, IC is nothing but C into dV by dt. So here dt is, we already know dt is nothing but T of 0 plus minus T of 0 minus, which is almost equal to 0. Okay, so dt equal to 0 here. So IC will become C into dV by 0. So IC has to be infinite if the voltage across capacitor changes just after switching on the voltage source. Okay, so this is practically impossible. Okay, having IC infinite is not possible practically. So having IC equal to infinite is practically not possible. Okay, so that's why capacitor doesn't allow sudden changes or instantaneous changes. In voltage. Okay, earlier inductor was not allowing sudden changes in current. Now our capacitor is not allowing sudden changes in voltage. Okay, so what is happening here? Just after switching the switch also, there is no voltage across capacitor. Okay, so VC 0 plus is also equal to 0 because it doesn't allow sudden changes in voltage. Okay, so let us conclude here. That means VC of 0 minus the voltage across capacitor just before switching equal to VC of 0 plus. Okay, that means equal to 0. The value is equal to 0. That means the circuit is still behaving as if the circuit is still voltage equal to 0 means it is a short circuit condition, right? Behaving as a short circuit. That means at transient condition, okay, capacitor acts as short circuit. Okay, so similarly after transients will die out, the voltage across capacitor and voltage across voltage source will be equal and there will be no current flow through the circuit. That means at steady state current will be 0, okay, through the capacitor, and there is current is 0 means it is open circuit condition. That means at steady state capacitor is acting as a open circuit. Okay, let me conclude this. That means, so I equal to C into dV by dt, right? So at steady state this dV by dt will become 0 at steady state. So at steady state there is no change in voltage, right? So the dV by dt value will become 0. Okay, so at steady state dV by dt should be equal to 0. So I will become 0. Okay, I equal to 0 means open circuit. That means at steady state condition, capacitor, this I is nothing but current through capacitor, right? So capacitor will act as open circuit. So this is important. So let me conclude the overall conditions here. So here let us summarize here. Here we have inductor and capacitors. These are the two important things to be considered because they are energy storage elements. Here we have a capacitor and here we have inductor. So let us see what is happening here for t is equal to 0 and t is equal to 0 plus and t is equal to infinity. So this is steady state condition. T is equal to infinity is steady state condition. So let us assume earlier there is no voltage across this capacitor at t is equal to 0, and we are going to see what is the behavior of this capacitor just after t is equal to 0 plus. That means we are going to turn on a voltage source onto this capacitor and we are going to see what is the status of this capacitor. So just after t is equal to 0 plus, the capacitor doesn't allow sudden changes in voltage, doesn't allow voltage changes. Okay, voltage changes. Okay, so capacitor doesn't allow voltage changes, so it will behave as short circuit. But under steady state condition, the transients will die out and there is no change in current. So the voltage across the current through the capacitor will be 0. So that will become open circuit. Okay, so that means what I mean to say is capacitor will act as short circuit at transient condition and it will act as open circuit under steady state condition. Okay, so here let us take, if you consider initially the capacitor is having a voltage source voltage V0 across this, and we are going to see what is happening if you remove that voltage source. Okay, so voltage will be still available across this capacitor even if you take the voltage source out of this capacitor. Okay, so voltage will be available across that capacitor even if you remove the voltage source across it. Okay, that is nothing but V0 here. So under steady state condition that will be equal to open circuit. Okay, so that the transients will die out and voltage will be dissipated and that will still act as open circuit. That means steady state condition capacitor act as open circuit. Okay, and the transient condition it is acting as short circuit condition. Okay, so similarly inductor, if we have, there is no current through inductor initially, so if you open it there will be no current, okay, before and after, so that will act as open circuit. Okay, but under steady state condition it will act as short circuit. Okay, so now if you take, initially there is current I0 through the inductor at t is equal to 0 minus, so the same I0 will be present at t is equal to 0 plus, but under steady state condition it will act as short circuit. Okay, so the points to be remembered is capacitor will act as short circuit at transient and open circuit at steady state. Okay, so don't confuse here. And inductor will act as open circuit at transient and short circuit at steady state. So these two are the things to be remembered. Okay, so now let us proceed further. So far we have discussed the individual behavior of resistor, capacitor and inductor. So for first order system they will be interconnected like this, RL and RC circuit, and because we are dealing with transients, so you will be having some differential components here. For example, voltage across this inductor VL is equal to L into di by dt. So this is voltage across inductor, and this current through this capacitor IC is nothing but C into dV by dt. So you will be having some differential components in the expression, the KVL expressions. So you will be solving for some linear differential equations here. that is, if you write a KVL expression here, so in this loop I am going to write a KVL expression for switch S is closed here. Okay, so that will become minus V naught plus, let us say I is flowing through this current, I is flowing through circuit IR, but here voltage across inductor is VL. Okay, so minus V naught plus IR, voltage across inductor is nothing but L into di by dt, right, should be equal to 0. If you rearrange this, that will be V naught equal to, or it can be rearranged like this. So we are rearranging to get a solution here, di by dt plus P into I plus Q, sorry, di by dt, sorry, here L into di by dt plus IR equal to V naught. Okay, if you observe this, this is similar to a differential expression, that is di by dt plus Pi equal to Q. This is linear differential equation. Okay, so what is the solution for this differential equation? We need to find I in this expression, we need to find I, so for that we need differential equation help. Okay, so this is the format our expression is, right, this is the same format, this KVL expression is in the same format, right. How can you solve this? Okay, we need to find the solution here. So for solution for this type of problem, differential equation is it consists of two solutions actually. So that is, one is particular integration plus another is complementary function. Okay, one is particular integration, another is complementary function here. Okay, so here particular integration is nothing but forced excitation, response due to forced excitation. Forced excitation is forced excitation, response due to forced excitation, this is, and complementary function is response due to source free excitation. There is no source available in the network. Okay, here the term P is indicating constant, P is a constant, and Q is response due to forced excitation. This is forced excitation actually, this is forced excitation actually, Q is forced excitation in the circuit equation. Okay, Q is nothing but our V naught, which is our source voltage, yes or no, that is nothing but forced excitation, and P is constant, and P particular integration is nothing but response due to forced excitation, and complementary function is source free excitation response. And in simple ways, particular integration is nothing but steady state response, okay, and complementary function is nothing but transient response. So here we are going to find transient response in addition with steady state response to find the solution for our differential equation. Okay, so this is some simple explanation about transients, and in the next class we are going to see the response the transient response in RL and RC circuits, okay, with the source free behavior and with the DC excitation, so that you will understand it clearly. Okay, so don't confuse here, we are going to get some differential equations and we are going to get the solution using differential equation concepts. Okay, I hope you understand. Thank you.